Hi there, everyone. I am Barbara Galvin. I am a registered dietitian, and I work at Sunrise Shoprites, which are Shoprite supermarkets in Parsippany, New Jersey, and West Caldwell, New Jersey. So I love talking about food, I love eating food, and I love instructing people about how to make the food work for them. So today we're going to be talking about lunch, and specifically school lunches, kids' lunches, school, whether you're at home or in school. Lunch is really a very important meal, and I know sometimes we rush through it, or it's an afterthought, or if we're learning at home, we're just going to kind of run to the fridge and see what we can grab. But we want to make sure that we're planning and thinking about our lunches, because it really can fuel you for the whole afternoon, fill you up really well with good vitamins and minerals, and then allow you to do whatever you want once you get home from school, or turn off that computer and you want to play with your friends or ride your bike or do whatever you want. So we're going to talk about some of the basics of a good, healthy lunchbox, and then we're going to see some examples of that. Really, you can be as creative as you want. You can cook, you can not cook, you can make it in advance, you can do it on the fly, whatever works for you. But we're just going to go through some examples of what is in a healthy lunchbox. So the foundation of our healthy lunchbox is our grains. And we always try to emphasize whole grains. As dietitians, we want to recommend to people that they eat grains that are going to fuel them for a long time. Sometimes if you eat something like, say, white bread or a potato chip or a bowl of cereal, if it's not made with a whole grain, you eat it and you feel full just for a little while, and then like an hour later, you're hungry again. So the way we can make that hunger not come back so quickly, how you can get your energy a little bit longer lasting, is we want to eat whole grains. So some examples of whole grains that might work for lunch, of course, are our 100% whole wheat bread. And a little word is you always want to see that 100%. We're talking about school, we want to get a 100% on our spelling, on our history, and also on our grains. So you always want to see that 100% whole grain. That's how you know you're going to get 100% of the energy from that food. So we want to start with our whole grains, and that could be our bread, it could be a wrap or a tortilla, it could be something like a Triscuit or a wheat thin. And if you're looking for that 100%, it's going to say it right on the box or the label. So if it says 9 grain or 12 grain, it's okay, but it's not 100%. So look for that 100%, and that's going to be your foundation for your healthy lunch. Also in whole grains category is something like a oat granola bar, a crunchy granola bar. It's starting with the whole grain of oats. So again, just look for that 100% whole grain, and that's a really good foundation. So that is going to give you the energy that you need for the whole afternoon. We always want to team up a carbohydrate, which is what this is, with a protein. Protein is what fuels our muscles, and it also helps keep us feeling full. So when we're looking for a protein, really you can do whatever you like. Maybe it's leftovers from last night, take that meatball and put it on a whole grain roll. Maybe it's some deli meat, you can have some cheese, you can have some turkey breast. Those are fantastic choices. You can do something like a sun butter, which is made from sunflower seeds, or peanut butter, of course made from peanuts, it's the classic. Even something like tuna fish is a fantastic, quick, nourishing source of protein for your lunchbox. So these are really some good examples. You don't have to make a sandwich, of course. You can put it on a cracker, you can put it in a roll-up, you can have some of your protein. This is teamed with fat, which we'll talk about in a second. You can have this rolled up already for you, and it'll give you that full feeling for a while, and again, help nourish your muscles. So protein is a really, really good item to have in a healthy lunchbox. We just don't want it to be chips and bread and things like that. We want some protein to really anchor that lunch. Of course, as a dietitian, my most important thing to mention about putting in your lunchbox is fruits and vegetables. So lunch can really be a great opportunity for you to get fruits and vegetables in your day. If sometimes we leave them all to dinner time, and then you're not going to have a whole full plate of veggies, right? So since you want to have at least 5 types of vegetables a day, a lunch meal is a great opportunity for you to get some of those fruits and veggies in. And when we say a serving of fruits and vegetables, it's really only a little handful. So if you go like this with your hand, that's about a half of a cup. So we want to have at least 5 servings, 5 little handfuls of veggies. So that really doesn't seem like a lot once you think about it. If you filled up your hand with some of these carrot chips, that's 1 serving. And then if you took some ranch, dipped it in your ranch, or you can dip it in some hummus, you might even have 2 servings of that, and you wouldn't even know that you're eating so many vegetables. But you could do the same thing with sugar snap peas. You can cut up a cucumber. You can have some baby tomatoes. Again, a little handful is a half of a cup, which is a serving, and we want to have 5. Just think of your hand, 5 little handfuls of veggies. So your lunchbox is a great opportunity to do that. So the last part of our healthy lunchbox, or our healthy lunch, is of course dairy. So we want 3 servings of dairy each day. That's going to give you the strongest, longest bones, great smile because you're going to have great healthy teeth, nice bright shiny eyes. So we can find dairy in, of course, our milk, in our dairy section. We have yogurt, so many different flavors of yogurt. We want to try to have a yogurt that doesn't have too many add-ins like, you know, toppings or cookies or anything. The yogurt itself, you can get whatever flavor you like, and there's lots of great flavors out there. String cheese, the favorite in any lunchbox. And of course we have different forms of yogurt, like yogurt sticks. You can freeze them, make them like a little bit of a treat. Or if you're actually having some cheese on your sandwich, if you make a grilled cheese or even just have it with some deli meat, 1 ounce is a serving of dairy. So lots of different ways that we can get dairy into our lunches. So I know these days we're not going to school, some of us, and eating lunch in the cafeteria or the lunchroom, but we can still pack a lunch in the morning if you kind of want to have a little bit of fun and you want to get creative. So we packed a few lunches here just to show you some balanced lunches, some healthy lunch boxes that have all of these different components in them. So let's see what we have in this lunchbox. Okay, so we're starting with our milk. Of course, that's our dairy. We have our classic peanut butter on 100% whole grain bread, whole wheat bread. Fantastic. If peanuts are a problem, then we have sun butter, so that's another option. We have some raisins, nice little box here. And we have some carrot chips. So here is our little cup. Looks like fake ranch dressing, but we can put our ranch dressing in that. So we have everything that we want here. Whole grain, protein, dairy, veggies, and fruit. So this is an example of a healthy lunchbox. So of course you can make this at home. You don't need the lunchbox part, but this is just to give you an example of what we could do. So let's see another example. All right, let's see what Wonder Woman has for us today. So in our Wonder Woman lunchbox, let's get a plate, we can show you. So this is a breadless lunch. These are roll-ups that we made with some deli turkey, some deli ham, and a little bit of cheese. So these are about 1 ounce of each, which is a great form of protein. This is the same type of a roll-up, but instead of bread, we used a nice lettuce leaf. So it's almost like a little lunch burrito, but we're using our lettuce leaf for that. So that's our protein, of course. Good old banana, looks like a nice little smile there. That's our fruit. We have a nice whole grain granola bar, which also has a little bit of chocolate in it. Chocolate makes everyone happy. So this is our whole grain. And of course, water. Water is always your best option, no matter what, when you are having any meal. So if you're not drinking milk, water is really your best option. So we have our water, we have our whole grain, we have our fruit, and then we have our protein here. So this is a great balanced lunch. All right, let's see what else we have. Okay, what's in this lunch box? Our friend water, of course. All right, so fruit. This is a little bag of cut up apples. This is great for everybody. Kids, adults, it's great for snacking, great for dipping, and it's a really very easily edible type of an apple there. We have some cut up peppers, which is our veggie, and a little bit of hummus in this nice little serving container. What do we have for our main? Oh, I remember. So these are Triscuits, whole grain, right? And it's got a little bit of turkey and ham and cheese on them. So again, it doesn't have to be a traditional sandwich. You can have something like this. So the Triscuits are the whole grain, and then the cheese is a source of dairy, but also just gives us a nice creamy flavor, and our ham and our turkey. So you can make as many as you want. You can make some of these for the whole family, and you can share them. So we have our protein and whole grain, we have our veggie, we have our fruit, and the cheese on the crackers is our dairy, and of course we have our water. Another great lunch. All right, I'm gonna move this aside. All right, last but not least. All right, so this is actually a little bit different. So we have, this is super convenient and super yummy. So this is a already made mixture of rice, chicken, and vegetables. So although sometimes as a dietitian, we wouldn't always recommend something like this off the bat, it really is a great foundation for you, because what you can do is add a scoop of frozen veggies to this and pop it in a bowl in the microwave, and now you're getting a really, really great mixture of veggies with your lunch. And it's super tasty. So we have our veggies, we have our grain, which is the rice, and we have protein, which is the chicken. We have a nice juicy apple, great in apple season, and we have dozens of different flavors. And we have a nice yogurt drink. So this is not only providing a little bit more protein, but it's also providing your dairy. So this is super portable and super convenient. So our dairy, our protein, more protein, grains and veggies, especially if you add a little bit more, and then we have our apple as our fruit. So these are just a few examples of really balanced meals, really balanced lunches, and it gives you an opportunity to get some of the nutrients, especially the veggies, into your day that you might ordinarily miss. So I hope you have a fantastic lunch the next time you sit down for lunch. Whether you're in school or at home, you can really be as creative as possible as long as you remember all of the food groups, grains, protein, some low fat, fruits, vegetables, and dairy. So enjoy, have a healthy day.